Sorry, never seen a fight where he wins with Darkseid, where it's only him and Darkseid. Superman versus Darkseid is a very common matchup between the two of them. They have tangled multiple times one-on-one, whether it be in Superman's own comic, Legion of Superheroes, Justice League, New Gods, everything in between. For you to say that you've never seen him win in a fight against Darkseid, well, allow me to show you. We can do one of the more recent fights, Superman, Man of Tomorrow, True Power. In this, Darkseid boom tubes to Earth. The two of them talk about the Switch 2 and how expensive it is. Darkseid makes the first attack, and Superman, with the concern of the people, are trying to stray Darkseid away from them. The battle continues with Darkseid get a couple hits off on Superman. But here's the thing. If you read the comic during the fight, there's a lot of imagery of civilians and collateral damage. Remember that. Because again, Superman starts blitzing Darkseid. And you're probably going to say, well, Darkseid punches him and stops him. Again, look at the panels. Because what Superman explains is that with each hit that Darkseid does, he's actually saving people in between each hit. Every strike, every hit was allowed by Superman so he can get people to safety. And then he sends the new god flying. This is another great one I like to bring up. Superman, Batman, issue number 13. This fight starts right after supposedly Supergirl dies. Spoiler alert, she's fine. Darkseid and him tangle a little bit. And while Wonder Woman does intervene for one block, Superman basically tells her to get out of the way. This fight is his, and he speed blitzed Darkseid, bringing him up to the sun, beating the shit out of him, doing what Superman does best, and then puts Darkseid into the source wall as punishment. Or you can look at Superman vs. Darkseid, Apocalypse Now, a comic specifically for them to fight each other. In this fight, it starts off with Darkseid slinging rocks at Superman. The two of them start going into a tussle. A lot of back and forth with heat vision and omega beams. Like a lot of back and forth, but Superman using his battle IQ to allow the omega beams to hit Darkseid. Utilizing all of his powers, including freeze breath. The two of them fighting like madmen, destroying the asteroid or planetoid that they were on. But here's the thing, at the end of the day, Superman once again wins. Because here's the thing you have to understand, Darkseid. When you pre-order the Switch 2, you need to also have money for games. Again, Superman winning. I mean, there's more instances. Take, for example, Action Comics 586. Superman screams Darkseid's name. Darkseid uses his Omega Beams at a distance. Tries to use them against Superman to take him out before he gets to Darkseid. But Superman uses the Omega Beams against Darkseid once again. Uses the Omega Beams, Superman is affected. But then he starts pounding the shit out of Darkseid so bad, Darkseid has to BFR him. Darkseid had to remove Superman because he was getting beat. And yes, while there are instances like World's Finest 24, which has Darkseid going up against a younger Superman in Kingdom Come Superman, yes, while they may be an exception to the rule, an exception to the consistency, it doesn't negate the rule. The rule being that Superman wins more often than not against Darkseid in a one-on-one fight. Hell, if I really wanted to use interpretation like a lot of comic talk people do, this is a younger, less experienced, less powerful Superman versus Darkseid. It would be like me talking about Rocky Maivia versus The Undertaker as opposed to The Rock versus Undertaker. But yeah, as I showed you, Superman beats Darkseid one-on-one.